Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome back to my channel Z Educate. Zainab Hassan here. I hope everyone is fine and doing great. Today we are going to talk about American and British English. What is the difference between American English and the British English, and what are the forms of standard of English when we are speaking, when we are writing? So at what point we have to be very careful, or if we are talking to someone, or if you are starting in English, so we must know the rules and regulations of American and a British English and a simple form. So let's get started. So here is a bit small introduction of standard English is regarding worldwide as an uncontroversial choice for something like an editorial or a serious subject in any English language. Just for example, newspaper, whether when we are talking about a newspaper and whether in Britain, the USA, Australia, Africa, or India, standard for English now there are some standards of English that are like concluding in British and American English. So they have a choice of something like that when they are working on a newspapers, or when they are talking about the weather news, or if they are making any movie, or they are adding some videos, or they are giving their text. So what are the differentiates between them? It is true that a very few minor points of difference can be found between the American English and British English. Over here, I have given American English in a short form AME and a British English in a BRE. Like American stand for AME and British stand for BRE forms of standards English. For example, British speakers will often use she may have done, where an American speaker say she may have. Now, see, there is a difference between if we are talking about something that she may have done. In British English, we use done, but in American English, if we are repeating this sentence, we will say only she may have. We are not using the word done. So this is the difference between American and a British English in very easy form. Then we have some standard English. Standard English, there are many rubric, local, regional, and social delegates of English that are clearly and uncontroversial as non-standard. So there is a one standard and a non-standard. Now these English, British and American English is split it into standard and a non-standard one. So there are in many cases familiar to standard English speakers from plays to films and songs, daily conversation in a diverse community. Now let's have some examples of standard and non-standard. Now, for example, if we are talking about the standard one, I have one example over here. If you can see, did it myself. If I have done some work and somebody is asking me who did it, so I'm replying them did it myself in standard form. And if I'm talking about non-standard, so I'll say done it myself. In standard form we will say did it myself, and in non-standard I will say done it myself. Now, haven't told anybody anything, and ain't told anybody anything. Now you can just have a look. There is a difference of haven't and ain't. See, standard and the non-standards. Now you can just have a clear difference between standard and the non-standard that are causing in British and American English too. Now, when we are writing something, we use this percentage sign. When we are using and why we are using, let's have a look. We use a percentage sign to mark a standard English form used by some speakers. See, they have said some speakers, not all of them. So keep it in your mind. We are talking about some speakers. That means some are not using this percentage sign, but some are using. But not all those we write left man happen because some standard English speakers use man and some don't. So some speakers are using percentage sign and some are not using when they are speaking, when they are writing, or when they are giving any poetry or something like that. So they are using percentage sign. Now we have a star. When and how we are using, you have seen in many books, when you're reading books you have seen this. Somehow they have given a star mark with some objects or with some words. Why they use this mark in grammar or in British or American English? Let's have a look. Standard English, as it is throughout most of the book, we use an asterisk to mark sequence that are not grammatical. Ran the away dogs. Now see, this is not grammatically. That's why we are using this mark over here. Why we are using this mark? When we are talking something but without grammatical. Ignoring the issue of whether that sequence of words might occur in some non-standard delegates. Now see, if we are using words randomly, that means we are going to non-standard. So when we are talking about the non-standard, non-grammatical words that we are using sometime in a slang language, or sometime we are writing very roughly. For example, when kids start learning English language, so they used to write creative writing, and when they are going to creative writing, their words are not similar or not up to the standard. So at that case, we can use this mark, or in the books, we have seen these marks many times. Non-standard past tense form of the verb do corresponding to standard English that did. In the standard delegates, done is what is called a past particle used after have. Now standard, we talk about standard English over here. Now we are talking about the non-standard. When we are talking about the non-standard, we're using past tense form of the verb. That means when we are talking about the standards, we are using present tense, and when you are talking about the non-standard, we are talking about past tense. Form of the verb do not corresponding of the standard English did it in the standard delegate. Done is what is called a past participle used after have. Now we have two examples. I have done it, or B, it was done yesterday. Now I have done it, that means we are talking about present tense, and when we are talking about the past, we will use it was done yesterday. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and if you have any question related to this video, or you have any confusion, do not hesitate, just comment me in a comment box, and I'll try to my level best to answer you all the questions. Take care. Bye bye. Inshallah, see you soon. Allah Hafiz.